like my channel. Today's video is about blueprint of Max Second PUC. So in this video I'm going to talk about the chapters that are included for the max for each and every, like for example 10 marks how many questions and what are the chapters under that, 5 marks and what are the chapter under that, 3 marks what are the chapter under that, 2 marks what are the chapter under that, 1 mark and what are the chapter under that. So like this I'm going to discuss with you all what are the questions and what from which chapters and for how many marks it carries, and shortly I'll be uploading from each chapter what are the questions, possible questions that would come, and need not study the whole chapter. So this would be helpful for you all to get better marks in your second PUC. So starting with the biggest marks, that is the 10 whole marks that is there, that would be from question number 49 and 50. This is divided into two. The 49A or the 50A would be for 6 marks. So 6 mark questions would be from integrals and linear programming. So from integrals, this is from the definite integrals part. So the derivations, I think there are 8 derivations, out of which only the last 4 derivations would be asked. I'll be sharing that shortly. Then from linear programming, of course it is very easy one. We need to find out the maximize or the minimize using the graphical method. Then for the 4 marks determinants, it would be finding the continuity. For determinants, it would be like finding a square minus 5a plus 7i is equal to 0, like that type questions, and to find the inverse of a using this equation. That would be for the determinants part, and for continuity, it would be finding whether f of x is continuous at the given value. So that would be for the 4 marks. Next, for 5 mark questions, relations and functions. So due to this reduced syllabus, the questions that would come from relations and function is finding out injectivity and surjectivity, or finding out one-to-one and on-to. For matrices, it would be finding, for example, they give a plus b. We need to find a plus b, b minus c, and we need to find a plus b plus c is equal to b plus c plus a. Like that questions would be asked for matrices. For determinants, they will ask us the matrix method questions. Then for differentiability, all the second order derivatives questions from which any one would come from differentiability. Application of derivatives. So from this, rate measure questions would be asked. So in this, we only need to study a rectangle and a ladder questions, and a rectangle questions are only coming from application of derivatives. From integrals, so the 6 derivatives would come from integrals except the other 3. The first 6 would come from integrals, and we need to evaluate a value for what derivation is given. That would be from integrals. From application of integration, we need to find the area enclosed by a circle, area enclosed by a sphere, area enclosed by a parabola, or area enclosed by an ellipse. So these type of questions would come from application of integration. Then from differential equations, this is a very easy question because we will get only finding a general solution from this. Then the 47th question is from three-dimensional geometry. So from this chapter there are 4 derivations mainly. I will share it shortly. All the 4, out of which one would be asked compulsory, and you can easily score marks in this. The 40th question, it is from probability. So these are the 5 mark questions. Next is 3 mark questions. 3 mark questions would be from 25th question to 38th question. So relations and functions, this is a chapter which is there in all. It is there for 5, 3, 2 and 1 marks. For 3 marks, they can ask finding out the equivalence, or finding out whether it is reflexive, transitive but not symmetric. These type of questions will come for 3 marks. From matrices, finding out symmetric or skew symmetric, or some other questions would come. And for continuity and differentiability, there are 2 questions here. So they will ask us, one question would be, both the questions would be from dy by dx we need to find out. In one question would be easy, would not be so tricky. Other question would be a tricky one. So from application of derivatives, we will have this strictly increasing, strictly decreasing questions would be from application of derivatives. From integrals we have 3 questions, out of which the first question would be like using so first question would be like we need to find out like for example taking sine the x is equal to t, that question. The second question would be from any one of the properties that are given, and the next question would be same from properties, but this would be not from the properties like such, but a little tricky question also could be from the last third question. So the application of integrals, we will get like we need to find area bound by a region when it is on the x-axis in the first quadrant. That is an easy question that we can solve. Then differential equations, sorry it is differential equations, spelling mistake. So from differential equations they will give us dy by dx. So we need to separate the x, we need to separate the y, and we need to solve. So that questions would come from differential equations. Then from vector algebra, we'll be having 2 questions which I find it difficult, so I'm just leaving out that. From 3-dimensional, even that I find it difficult, so I'll leave out vector algebra and 3-dimensional geometry. So but I'll explain you all what type of questions could come after I studying it. Then probability, this is an easy one for 3 marks, but I think it is a little difficult for 5 marks, because the same 3 mark type questions would be given for 5 marks, which is, I think it is not right for giving it for 5 marks. So for 3 marks, a easy question like dies or man speaking the truth, or it could be like head and tail, or parents having girl and a boy child. So these questions would come from 3 mark questions. Next, going to the 2 mark questions. 2 marks are very easy. So relations and functions, of course, we need to find out whether it is associative, commutative. That would be, according to me, the compulsory questions. Then inverse trigonometry, of course, it would be finding out the principal value, or they will give us a set of like sine inverse half plus cos inverse half and finding out the value of it. Then from determinants, we need to find out area of triangle. That is a compulsory question. Continuity and differentiability, again we have 3 questions, out of which 2 questions will be from first order derivative and the last question will be from the second order derivative. Then for application of derivatives, we will have finding out slope of a tangent. So those questions would come from application of derivatives. Integrals, one would be from definite integrals and other would be from indefinite integrals. So 2 questions from that. Differential equation, for 2 marks it would be finding out the order and degree, and it's a compulsory question. And then again the same vector algebra and 3-dimensional, I find it little difficult, so I'm leaving out that. From probability, this is same easy questions. Also study 3 mark questions for probability so that it is easy for both 2 marks and 5 mark questions. So this is for 2 marks. 1 mark questions, for relations and functions they can ask definitions. For inverse trigonometry they will ask range and domain. Then for matrices they can ask to build a matrix or to find the possible orders. Then for continuity and differentiability, sorry, I forgot determinants. So for determinants, they might give like a matrix and finding out x, or they might give a matrix and finding out x, or would be like we need to find out mod of A. So mainly questions like finding out x value could be for determinants. For finding out continuity differentiability, it is same, finding dy by dx, but over here it would be a little easier question for 1 mark. Then for integrals, over here it would be very easy question because they will give us an integral. We need to just find the integral of that. Then for vector algebra, they ask us to find the direction question cosines for this. For 3-dimensional, for vector algebra they will ask definitions. For 3-dimensional geometry they will ask us direction cosines. For linear programming they will ask us definitions again. For probability we need to know P of A bar B. These type of questions will only come from that chapter for probability. Hope you all like this video, guys. I'll shortly make another video of physics, chemistry and maths and upload it as soon as possible. Hope you get an idea of what I would be doing for the next 3 months before our exams, 2 or 3 months before our exams, so that everybody can get a better marks in your second PUC.